Welcome to the Build Line. We're talking about discounts, and not just discounts and what they do to your bottom line, but discounts and what they do to your staff, your business long term, your head junk, all that good stuff. Today's episode is all about money and mental capacity.
Yeah, how that weighs on you, how it transfers to your team, how it affects you when you get ready to go build, and why you should not discount, and what that does for the big picture for your business and being able to go back, warranty your work, keep your margins, and be profitable. So I think it's a great episode. We dig into a ton of different topics on this piece, this overarching theme that's in our industry of you should give a discount. It'll be okay.
No means no.
20 to 30 sub-trades per job.
$35,000 a
You
week.
will be licensed 10 years next year.
You've mastered the trade. Now you need to master the business. You know, we've had some really good guests come on. Like we had the contractor fight. We had he had his 50%. Then we had everybody talking about the experience. We had you and I talking about, get an office, get a person in the office, all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's been, a month of me out in the street just hearing people's feedbacks and stuff.
The chatter.
And some veterans and some young guys, right? But they're all like, this is the example that was given to me. Jerry, you pretty much said, they're homeless. Just get a home then. If you're homeless, just get an office.
It should be that easy.
Yeah. What are you talking
Why
about?
haven't you figured it out?
So it's like, I don't want everybody to think that we're coming off as just get an office. Get it. Like there's steps that you have to take to get there. And does everybody qualify for 50% margin? I'm going to say no. I'm going to put that to the test. And they go, well, why? And I'm going to go, look, man, life is weird. And if you can't carry on a conversation, just A to B with you and me, and build some sort of rapport, how do you think you're going to get that with a customer? Mm-hmm. There's these mumble mouths that are going, well, I can't give 50%, and it's like, well, maybe you can't. Or maybe you can. Maybe you need to look deep inside yourself and go work on your communication skills. Maybe you shouldn't show up with the coffee stain on your shirt. Maybe you should listen more.
Well, and deliver.
I
think it's deliver. I think is what it is. I think you can get that margin if you can deliver what you said.
But what if they can't? That's what I'm saying. There's these guys that are just 45-year-old men that their whole life, like, no matter how hard I try, if I don't have game, I might not get that girl. And I don't look that good. I don't qualify for that girl. When I got these tattoos on my neck, my dad said, your qualification levels just dropped. So
ouch.
In certain things in life, whether you look, talk, or act, qualify you for other things. We don't like to believe that, but it's true.
But if you go to the bar, okay, we're going to go to your being the hot girl at the bar analogy over here. If you go to the bar, you notice who's got game.
Yeah.
Right? It's no different than this game.
Yes.
So you have to pick up on that.
Yes.
That guy looks good. He's dressed nice.
Right.
He comes up and has the banter and the swagger and all those things. And so there's a rapport that comes with that.
Right.
You learn it picking up chicks in the bar. How is the customer any different?
You're right.
It's not. It's the same game.
So they need to recognize.
Yes.
They can't just go add 50% and go, well, I did it because they said that's what I need. No, you have to.
Game has to recognize game.
Game has to recognize game.
You have to up it. You have to up the level. You have to look around and say, if this person's getting 50%, they're saying that, what are they doing and what's different? And what do I need to change about my game to be better?
Yeah.
In order to get that.
And bring the value, right?
Yes.
Bring the experience that a 50% margin contractor or guy at a bar has.
Correct.
Bring that experience.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the beginning, you got to spend some of that money when you're only getting 25% to get to that. You got to spend some money, right? And so that's what I think the miscommunication there is like they're not seeing that. And when you get to the 50%, then maybe you can get that big shop and that gal and do all that other stuff as well. You have to earn it, I guess. Or do you have to put the money up first to get them to get the 50%?
I think you have to deliver, do a really good job, and know that you can make more money the next time around. And it's an incremental. If you're at cost plus 15 and you go to 50 and the neighbor down the street just hired you, like there's going to be a disconnect there. Why was my kitchen X and this person's so much more? Mm-hmm. So you have to recognize how you're going to get there. It can't just be a flip the switch overnight situation. You have to incrementally keep moving that up and keep moving those pieces, but you have to deliver a little bit better with each one of those. You can't expect to raise your price, raise your margin or your markup on the job, but still take twice as long than the other guy. Why would that matter? Now the client's going to feel like they're paying more for a not great experience.
Well, let's back up. We're talking about now being on the job. What about before we even get that opportunity? Somebody's called and you go out to do a consultation at their kitchen for their remodel. Yeah. You go to their house. Mm-hmm. You got to bring your game that day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, day one, right? You show up on time. You're not late.
You got to deliver.
You look good, right? You're dressed nice. You're not dirty.
And the setup prior to that, right? Mm-hmm. When they called. Who answered, or even yourself, if you did answer, how did you come across?
Yes.
Were you frustrated because you just, got done yelling at one of your guys, or were you pleasant?
And did you take a week to call them back? Again. Or was it they called that afternoon, you called the next morning when you're returning phone calls, mm-hmm. And you have that set time? Yes, okay, Mrs. Smith, I'll be there on Wednesday. I'll be there at noon. You show up at noon. You're prepared. Maybe you got a little pamphlet about your company, what you do, that kind of stuff. You listen, you're a good note taker. I'll have that estimate over, I'll have that proposal or that initial budget to you by Friday, and you deliver by Friday. It's incremental pieces to prove, yes, that you're worth what you're charging. Yeah. And I think that is the part that's missing.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Yeah. No, you got to come correct the whole way through. And they're looking at that from the time they see you get out of your truck or they made that call. Or is your online presentation at that level?
Do you even have one?
Right.
Because I think even the basics of do I have something? Does it recap what I do? Is there examples of my work, what projects I've done, what my qualifications are? What does that look like? We're going back all these analogies, right? I think of it like going to the grocery store. Are you willing to, when you go to, let's take Nugget or Whole Foods, for example, that's a different shopping experience than going to
Winco,
right? Are you willing to overlook the bruised peaches at Winco because they're a little bit cheaper and you're like, oh, it's fine, I'm going to eat them tomorrow. Who cares, right? But you're going to pay a premium when you go to Whole Foods for the peaches and you're going to pay $5. You're going to want the best. You're not going to want the one with the bruises on it. It's the same mindset before you even walk into the store, what you're willing to accept.
Yeah.
So if you're rolling in trash on your dash, like and you're late and all that kind of stuff, it automatically sets you up. You've failed. There's no way that you're going to charge more or you're going to be able to not be looked at as a discount contractor.
Right. Which comes to the topic of our today's podcast and these discounts and what that does to the brain, what that does to the value and what you're bringing and trying to do, right?
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that contractors discount so quickly? Why do you think that people are willing to do that?
Scared is one. You kind of feel the pressure. Just like, oh, yeah, sure, I could do that, without even thinking about it. It's a nervous thing you got to really think about before you answer anything.
Yeah.
And then have you set yourself up that, here we go to presentation. Are you the type of guy they feel that they could do that to? There must be something along the lines that has kind of given somebody the inclination that they could even ask for that, ask for a discount or ask for a deal on something. Yeah. Or do people just do that all the time?
I think that comes to the client. Sometimes there's clients that just they're just ballsy. They don't care. They're going to ask you for that. I got asked the other day, we had an initial consult at the office from somebody, and somebody asked me, how do you feel about accepting cash? And I kind of looked at him sideways because I haven't had anybody ask us that in at least
Yeah,
5 years.
$450,000.
And it was a big project. And so I'm kind of like, why do you ask? And I'm not going to, are you asking for like a cash discount? Because the answer's no. Yeah. That's not how we operate. And he kind of took a step back and he was, well, no. I've got
you made him feel dirty.
Yeah. I just got some cash. I just want to pay some cash for this. And it got shut down very quickly. Yeah. But I would say when we first started out, we would bend on that. And we would be like, oh, maybe, I don't know, right? Where this is like, I mean, you might ask me to just go to the moon. I looked at him so sideways. I was like, what do you mean? No, I'm not a discount.
What am I going to do with that?
Yeah. I was like, no, I run everything on the up and up and I run it through my books. So no, I'm not accepting your cash discount. It's weird to me. Like,
it is a weird
But I think
thing.
some people are okay with just asking that. That doesn't bother them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. The thing about given the discounts, for me, it really starts in my business. It starts like a bad habit of like doing things for free and not even sometimes asking. Like I have the bad habit. I do too much for free and it bites me financially. And I have a hard time going, no, now you have to pay for that and sending like a $600 bill. You know, because I
ask you for that all the time. I'll turn around and be like, Jerry, no, you got to come back. I'm like, no, you're gonna charge me for that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, there's some people that do, and then there's the good amount that don't say anything and probably feel like it's like they're entitled to it because I don't bid anybody else, Jerry. Oh, you're my only drywall guy. And it's like I realize that and I see that and I respect that, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I think I definitely know I'm getting taken advantage of,
but I think that there are the contractors that you work for that yes, same situation, right? It's like we use Jerry for our drywall, but I look at it as like, as much as you take care of me, I want to take care of you because I need you to be around.
Yeah.
So I'll look at it from the prism of, I would charge to come back to do this. If another trade, good example, demo sub flooded a bathroom. We had way more drywall that had to be taken out than what you'd bid. Right out of the gate, day one of the job. Called you right away. Hey, Jerry, I'm going to have to demo out more of the ceiling in the family room and down the hallway and these walls that separate the bathroom. I need you to come take a look at it tomorrow because I need your price to do it. And I didn't expect you to take care of it whatsoever.
I felt bad about charging that. I was like, oh, shit. And I didn't charge enough. I just kind of like threw some money at it because I was like, okay. Because it's another tradesman, he had an accident. I don't want to take advantage. Like
totally, but then his accident cost your company money.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And so it's like I can't expect you to absorb an accident that he took. No different than if we cause damage for a client and it comes out of my pocketbook.
Yeah.
It's like we all have to answer to other people of what we do, and just because you don't have to answer to the client on paying the client back for something that the client's not going to pay for the extra water damage. So it's like everybody's got to sort it out. Everybody takes their piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And, we're all fair. We're not over here making margin on somebody's error.
Right.
Right? That's not when we're in here like, let's just charge a bunch. It's like, okay, hey, we got to cover costs, whatever. But trade damage happens.
It happens.
And so you got to look out for your subs when it comes to that. But
so, Heather, what do you use for construction management software?
Of course, Jerry. We use Builder Trend. You know that. All the alerts, all the notifications, but it's where the portal is for our subs, our clients to really go and learn everything about the job. We always tell clients that is the hub of information between your daily logs, scope changes, cost increases, how do I pay my invoices, all of those parts, pieces. The client is in that portal, can access all the information they need on their project, but also our subtrades. Our subtrades can know what's going on, view daily logs, figure out if we really making the schedule up. Are we actually getting stuff done out there? Pictures in real time. Yeah,
and for those of you that don't know, if your general contractor has Builder Trend, your subtrades get free access to it.
Correct.
And it's got all the information that we need to access projects if entered in properly by you guys. I love Builder Trend. I love being part of it. I think everybody should have it.
Yeah. So if you don't already, check it out, buildertrend.com. I think you said something that stuck in my mind when we were talking about that negotiating a price and discount. I think once you start negotiating your price, the client starts questioning your value.
Break that down a little bit.
So if you
you
can negotiate your price,
right,
they start negotiating your value. Well,
Yes.
if you're willing to compromise on this, what else are you willing to compromise? And I think it actually psychologically, I think it makes the client look at like, okay, are you running everything on the up and up? Are you actually doing like,
is
why
there this
are
large
you...
amount of money that you're just making? And then the all the things that we get accused of start to really come into their head.
Yes, because I think there's so much mystery in our industry about what things actually cost, and it's wild, and we get all these HGTV, you can remodel your whole house for $15,000 garbage that's out there, and there's such bad information that it just reinforces that stereotype. It reinforces this notion of like, well, you guys are all just taking advantage of us. And, y'all are just charging so much money. And I saw that on that one show. And, they did their whole kitchen for $3,000. And it's like, no, you can't. Like, this is not even real. That's not real life. So I think that just it tears our industry down more.
Because the good contractors, when we go out to get the prices for the project, we're doing all the negotiating under the scenes with their subs, with your material house, with everything, your own labor, in-house costs, your fees. Yeah. That's already done. We're not going and trying to throw on this massive price. Then we're going to come back and come off that price. It's like, I want to come in with the best price right away so we can get the job to work, right? Not the cheapest price, but the best one so we can do the job properly.
Correct.
And that's what sucks for me on my end is I'll do that, and then I'll get this call a month later. Hey, Jer, they took out the master suite. We're not going to do that anymore. And you're looking for thousands of dollars on this discount on this remodel. I'm like, I don't got thousands. I came in here cheap as I could so we could get the job together. Yeah. So that's for generals listening, that's a big one for your subs. Like when you ask for that money off that because you didn't come in good enough with your budget number when you presented it to the homeowner, then you had the job walk, and then you need to come $300,000 off of it. Like that's your fault. Yeah,
you're not budgeting those areas appropriately, or you're weighing too much on the whole job, then expecting if you reduce a portion of the scope, it will then drop the number significantly.
Or qualifying them to see if they had enough money to actually do the $750,000 remodel, right? They go, oh, no, we only have $400,000. We thought.
Yeah, you're not even close. And that's such a hard target to hit. And that's such a hard expectation right now in general, across the board. I would say 3 years ago, it was different. I think people were looking at, I just want to get in and get everything done. Whereas now it's like, I need to, but I don't feel good about spending money. So I'm going to break this up. And to your point, it's like, I'm going to break up the pie in 15 different ways. How many ways can I cut it to get what I want, and what I'm going to settle for, and what I'm not going to do? Then
we need to know that we are breaking it up. That needs to be a communication.
Yes.
To go, hey, we're going to do 3 bathrooms, a kitchen, and this in this job, and I need you to price them separately.
Yep. And that's what we try to do. Yeah, knowing that the client is trying to Chinese menu is what we call it.
Chinese menu.
Yeah, right? Because you could pick like, I want fried rice and I want pad thai and I want like you're picking all your sides. Okay. And so it's the same way. We call it the Chinese menu of, okay, I only want to do my guest bathroom and I want to do my pool bathroom, but I want to do the flooring throughout, which is going to do my door casings and my windows.
I like it that way. I wish we all did it. That makes my job a little easier. I think you get a better package price if you did it all, but then there's that gamble again.
Yes.
So
we try to be upfront with that. But I think that's a difference of discounting versus figuring out what the client really wants to do for their money. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
That's a harder one, I think, because you have to be really good at extracting that in the beginning versus to your point of just pricing all of it and then going, well, can we just discount that by 20%? Yeah, can you do 20% off your number? And the answer is usually no. The answer is no. But if you're getting down to that point where you're having to discount it, in my mind, you haven't qualified your client enough. Your client shouldn't be asking that.
Yeah, right.
If you're doing your job.
Starts from the get-go.
If you're doing your job out of the gate and understanding your client's goals, your client's budget, the constructability constraints, I think that's a huge one that people miss. They don't think about what it's actually going to take to do the project. I had a job I recently went to go look at. Client won a whole house remodel, and they're walking around and they're telling us all the scope. And we're demoing, we're raising the ceilings, we're adding, 1,000 square feet, and everything was, but that's not going to be that much because, and it's like this explanation afterwards. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is not our job. This is not our job, because you're quantifying back to me why it's not going to be that much, but I'm looking at your existing footings and they're clearly undersized and it's not going to fit. We're not going to add 1,000 square feet and be able to utilize this. We're going to have to we're going to have to add on to this. Like, in my mind, I'm like, we're going to put a steel beam in. Like, none of this is easy. And everything you're telling me, we're going to do plaster showers, but that's cheaper than tile because I don't have to buy tile. And I'm like, and I challenged it. My response back was, no. I go, that's not the case. Yes, you're not buying tile. You have a point because you're not doing tile. I said, but your waterproofing's the same, your prep's the same, and you want somebody who actually does plaster well. That's a person. So now you're just trading a material cost for a labor cost. Yeah. So it's not cheaper. I don't know why you think that. She wasn't a very big fan of that answer. Needless to say, we did not get the job because it just did. You're not figuring that out.
But what is your feelings on the opposite when you go in and everything, when you're doing your dance and everything feels so good? Do you ever get fearful, that, I want to get this one? And then you start like doing your numbers and, and you go, and you're like, man, I want to do this one. And the numbers look high. I mean, how do you get over the fear of not discounting before you even give them the price, because that happens. You go out and look at it and you're like, man, these people were great. Yes. This is a good project. Yep. I want to do it. I know they're bidding me against Ziffly Diffly. And I heard he's at whatever percent, right? That's a brain struggle, right? I mean, that's something.
You have to, I think those are two different situations, different scenarios. For us, okay, let's say we're just initial. We're not in a pre-construction contract. They haven't engaged with us at all. They're interviewing. They're figuring out if we like each other. We're going to end up at the same number. I always caution people, if somebody's telling you something that's too good to be true, they're 20% lower significantly, probably not telling you the truth. Mm-hmm. And so there's two ways that I think you have to quantify that. You have to get do you want to work with us? That's number one, right? Are you a good client? Do you like us? Do we like you? Is this the area you want to work at? All those kind of things. Those are two different qualifications. Great. Sounds like a great project. Sounds like we'd be a good fit. Do you like us? You want to work with us? Okay, now you're under yes. They say, okay, we're going to go with you. We're going to leave Ziffly Diffly out. He's done. Now we're going to work with you. So as long as the alignment is there of what they want to spend and what we can deliver, we can keep moving forward. What I always, we have to do the gut check in-house. If it's not, we will tell people up front. You want to do all this and you want to remodel your whole house and add the 1,000 square foot example, right? But your budget is $300,000. Like, we're going to have a hard conversation. I can't do all that for $300,000. What was your expectation?
So even if you love the people and they love you, you've got over the feelings part. And you just keep it to paper. I
do. And we lose work because we will tell people the truth. I would rather tell you the truth than lead you down this path for 6 months and then hand you something that's a bag of garbage you can't afford. Yeah. Right? Or I get you under contract and then I just change order the heck out of you. Like, that's not how I operate. But I would challenge, I think a bigger, let's say the dollars are good, right? Or it's like we're Chinese menuing and it's real close against the budget, right? You're like, oh, God, I don't know if this is going to go. What we found is that the person who sells the pre-construction is, the client contact through pre-construction. Their, their job developer, let's call it, right? Mm-hmm. That role of like, okay, let's do the site investigation. That person's that one-on-one with the client. That person is selling their construction contract, but the person estimating it is a different person. Mm-hmm. So we've put that into play within the company because the numbers are the numbers. And the person that's estimating it isn't going to chase the number, right? I think that whenever I hear that the estimator sells, and we talk to other companies and we hear that.
Slope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because your estimator gets in that head trash of selling to what they think that they need to be at. And that's where I think that there is, you get yourself in trouble because you chase the number.
Yeah, I guess that's me.
You've been to my house, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have that nice big 12-foot multi-slide panoramic door. What my favorite thing though is you can open it up and it has the full screen that goes all the way across, so I can let my kids out, go swim. Right, full screen across the 12-foot opening, no problems, no bugs are getting in because right now there's all kinds of bugs in my house. But I can also open it up for the parties, indoor, outdoor. It's like full California theme. Panoramic doors, they're made in the U.S. You can check out all the functions and varieties, links, sizes, screen configurations, bifold, all those pieces. Check them out, panoramicdoors.com. Lots of options for you there. Probably my favorite, though, for that indoor-outdoor California room.
I love it, panoramicdoors.com. I do it all the time. Yeah. So where do I need to be at?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'm not going to do that anymore.
And even then, it's like, you almost need somebody else who's the gut check, right? Like maybe that's, hey, Will, you've done this long enough, right? Like, I don't know how much Will knows the numbers, but if it's like, if you even just did it from hey, we have a 3,000 square foot house, half of it needs new rock and we're going to retexture the rest, right? How long is that going to take us, right? Like,
I know the number and I know that, but then you negotiate with yourself the margin, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, here's what it's going to take. That's for sure done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know your cost.
Here's this margin of profit and whatever. And where do and then I look at maybe my client and go, okay, well, I try not to, but it happens. You go, they're not going to go for that.
Yeah, but
he's not an A player contractor. He's a C.
But margin doesn't make you greedy. Margin allows you to actually care.
Sure.
Margin allows you to be able to come back and take care of something, to your point of the $600 earlier, without having to send that or eating it.
Yeah, I get it, but you get in your head.
Yeah.
This head trash is for real. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm still, like I'm telling you right now, it happens. And it's like, God damn. How do you get out of that? I don't know. I don't know how to get out of it all the time. I still get in it, right?
You need somebody else to go sell, Jerry.
You're right. The structure of that.
You need somebody else to go sell.
Because that makes sense.
Because it does. It weighs on you. It weighs on you because you have had enough experience sitting in the seat of the C or the B player calling you and saying, Jerry, you're too much, or I went with so-and-so because you were 10% higher or whatever. And so you get almost this like cringe, like you're like, you send the email and you're like, oh God, I hope they don't get mad. Like we've done that. Like we've done that with clients where you've sent the number and we've had people cry in our office when we've given them proposals. Man. We've had people legitimately be mad at us. I mean, like mad, like we're talking like, forget this. You guys are ridiculous. I'm not paying that. And it's like, okay.
This has come from all this wisdom. So when you didn't have that, like what was the conversation
oh my God.
in the
Steve
beginning?
And I we've lamented about it where it's just like, oh my God, that's so painful. And you have you get in this cycle. And I think when you've been doing it for so long, you just get in this head trash space to where you're at, where you sit back and you're like, oh my God, I don't even want to have this conversation because it's just like, this is going to be so bad.
Yeah.
And that is where you can get yourself in trouble because then you are compromising on margin.
Yeah. And margin is where you run your business off and fix the problems that maybe you can.
Yes. I had a client that called us because they were going to do their flooring downstairs and they needed new baseboard and casing. It was a very small project, but they were a great client and we'd done work for them 5+ years ago. And so not normally something we'd take on, but we're like, oh, it's a existing client, sure, we'll come out and take care of it. Gave them our number on it. Wasn't a major discount. Wasn't like a crazy margin on the job either, but enough of what we needed to take care of what we needed for the project to make money on it. And the client called us and was like, oh, yeah, you guys are really expensive on this. We're going to just GC it ourselves. We're going to just hire the flooring guy and we're going to get a guy to do the baseboards and all that stuff. Okay. He was like, he was very apologetic. Like, he felt bad that we had spent time on it. I was like, that's totally fine. Do what you want to do. But it was funny because then we got a call like 4 months later, called us back and was like, hey, so those cabinets you put in downstairs, I've got a warranty problem on them. We're like, how did you have a warranty? This is 5 years ago. We're like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, I think the paint's defective on these cabinets. We're like,
5 years
what,
in.
5 years in? Like, that's interesting. And so he called Steve to file this complaint. And Steve asked to send a picture. And so he emailed the picture over. And the picture is very clearly with the new flooring underneath it. And somebody had removed the toe skins from the cabinet that we had done and put it back on and had damaged the paint. And so we had to have a very frank conversation with him of like, no, I think you need to call back your guy that took off the bottom of this toe skin on this cabinet, because that's not a defect of the paint. That's damage. Mm-hmm. And, he had called the cabinet maker that had made it that works for us. And, the cabinet maker's like, that's from 5 years ago. And no, there's nothing wrong with my work. And the point to that is that our margin costs more, and we have margin on our jobs because when you work with us, we just make those things go away.
You never know it even existed.
No. And so that's what allows you to be able to do that, right? Are we talking like a crazy amount of money to go repaint some toe skins on a cabinet and put it back on? No. A couple $100. Like, it's not crazy, but that's what you get when you have margin and you can make those things go away. If you have no margin and those things come back up, now it's a fight. Now it's a fight with your client, because now your client's like, well, why isn't that taken care of? You guys damaged it. You're like, well, I didn't think that the toe skin would get messed up because we didn't realize the flooring was underneath it. Like, you can't make things like that go away.
And if you start the job with discounting, by the end, you'll have minus margin.
Yes, you do. Then
you'll get mad. Yes. Yeah, then your emotions come into play where you're like, I shouldn't be paying for this or that. And they don't care about those discounts at that point.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, then it's just you're constantly on the defensive, or you're backpedaling, right? Yeah. You're backpedaling for what can I do? What can I fix? So
yeah. And the relationship is stressful enough during the whole construction process. You start giving the discounts, and then, like you said, they devaluize the whole situation. And then it is even more. Then in the back of their head, they're thinking, what else can I get? Well, he did this or that, Yeah.
But I think that there is... I think you have to change the mentality behind it of not discounting. You have to change the narrative, because if the clients are automatically thinking they're getting a discount, it's that defensive piece. If you're putting it out there and you're saying, this is what I cost in order to do a really good job, you have to then also point out the things that you are doing that are the win behind it that make you better. So we'll send a $0 change order for that toe skin that I repainted that I didn't need to do.
Oh, really?
I will point it out to the client. See this? I just took care of that.
Yeah.
That's why you hired me.
I should do that. I should start sending $0 like fixie doos.
Yes. Because it's almost like a tally scorecard.
Yeah.
Of these things. Because if they constantly see you coming back to them of, hey, there was this existing condition and there was, dry rot we had to go repair, and, there's some reframe we had to do, and they just see you coming back to the well, that kind of stings, right? So I try to put in the wins as well, because it makes the stings not hurt as bad. But then also they feel like they're getting value from that. Oh, you guys took care. You guys didn't have to do that. Thanks for taking care of that.
Yeah.
Right? Thanks for putting
I could see that in my end going sideways. Contractors saying, well, what is this all about? What are you trying to say? And like, well, I do this for you or that or whatever. Oh, I pay you. I could see that conversation kind of coming. Ego of the male ego again coming into play.
You think so? I mean, I guess I would look at it as, if I'm your customer as a GC, right? My client is going to look at that and say, oh, why did you send that to me? It's like, I just want to let you know we took care of that. And it wasn't something that maybe was on your radar, or maybe it was on your radar, but I'm not going to charge you for that. And I think for you, people are so used to you not sending that I think you need to point it out for what you do. Because then when it comes back to have the, hey, Jerry, can you knock it down by 20%? Sure. But remember A, B, and C of the things that I did on that job? Those are going to come to you in a change order now. I'm not going to just take care of those.
Right.
And so you might not have it on that job, but you're going to tally it on the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I if in my world, a lot of the things that I repair for free are the general's mistakes or another trade's mistake.
Yes.
So it's like poking the bear, I think, a little bit with those guys.
I don't think so, because I think it makes, if you're a good general contractor, it makes you aware. Because I'm going to look at it as like, okay, if Jerry had to come in and let's say you had to go and mud around 7 light fixtures in a whole house, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously the electrician's fault because they got layout wrong, right? Or maybe I had it wrong and I didn't have shop drawings there. Whatever. Chalk it up to both. Let's say 50-50, right? We both screwed up, but it became your problem.
Right.
What I'm going to look at, though, if I'm a good general contractor, hopefully everybody who listens to this actually is a good general contractor. I don't know. Take this to heart. I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at it when I get ready to go bid the next job. I'm going to go, hey, Jerry took care of all these things. If you're not a dirtbag, you'd probably be like, I don't want Jerry to have to take care of all these things. How am I going to do that better? Or I'm going to take a hard look at, hey, I had everything there for the electrician. They just royally screwed up. Maybe I'm not going to use them on the next one because I don't want this to roll down to Jerry, because Jerry's a good trade who takes care of me. Whereas the electrician, I'm going to look at you and be like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
How did you screw up so bad? Right? And maybe I won't consider you for the next job. Or maybe you're going to go on a timeout and I'm going to use somebody else for a little bit. So.
I agree.
But that's part of being a good general contractor, right, and protecting your subs and the subs that will work for you. Because doing that and having that expectation that your other subs are going to cover what you screwed up, that makes you just as bad of a contractor, in my opinion. Not only what you're giving for the client, but then how you're treating your sub-trades that work for you. You're not going to have a lot of that will want to work for you.
Well, here's a hint to help that out for guys. If there's a change order that's being done early on before a particular trade gets there, but it involves me, a lot of times won't say anything. Like you might say, you might send an email saying, hey, we're going to add, 5 feet here, so you need to add in some drywall. Yeah. A lot of guys will not do that.
I don't understand that.
I'll just show up in the scopes a little bigger and nobody said, oh,
by
it was
the way,
a change order. They wanted to add this plug for the TV up here, so we tore this wall out. They won't say anything. Tell me, let me get $500.
So,
like, and I think that has to do with like not having maybe the right project manager out there either, or being involved in that. Because,
but then so if I were you, that's where I would send the $500 change order. Hey, no, like I'm not going to do that.
Well, now I ask when I go on a job. I go, did anything change? Is there any change orders I need to be involved in here? I ask.
At what point, though?
When I get there, because nobody's calling me on these smaller jobs. Yeah. They're just like, I show up and there's an extra bedroom.
No big deal. That's just 4 sheets, Jerry. You're fine.
Or the electrician had to tear and I've been around long enough to know when we go on these job walks, I can sniff out this optimistic estimating right away. Mm-hmm. We're just going to do this and we're just going to do that. And I'm like, dude, I've done more kitchens than you have. I do more work than the general contractor does.
Yeah,
I see a lot. Yeah. So I know that you're going to tear this down, tear that down. And, hey, I've been working with this plumber for 10 years, so I know what he's up to as well. So generally my price is pretty true, but I do run into these jobs. I mean, this year so far, we've done 108 jobs.
Wow.
And probably 15 of those I've shown up and gone, oh, this is a little big. Hey, did you? Oh, yeah, we ordered this or that. And I don't want to say nothing.
Yeah. I would say I'm going to give us an A- on that. I feel like for the most part, we are asking beforehand. I would say the ones that we forget will be like, oh shit, Jerry, I didn't get you in there right. Like, what do we need to do to take care of? But that should be I don't know. That just blows my mind to your point. We added a whole bedroom. Like, how do you not ask?
It's never a whole bedroom, but it's like, you know what I mean?
Though.
Well,
it is.
They'll take out the ceiling, let's say, but then now I got to tape those angles and float into the walls. Yeah. It's a whole bedroom.
Yeah, yeah. And and then that goes back to poor project management.
And are they change ordering and not saying anything because they need a little extra money to cover their screw-ups before I got there on something?
Potentially, yeah. They're just chasing the dollars.
All these thoughts go through your head, when you're there. And then is it It's the whole weird conversation. And then you have these project managers or whatever they are, working foremen or whatever, they have no tactfulness when it comes to talking to the owner of a business about money either.
Or they don't have the power to talk about it, right? They're not allowed to negotiate. That's so-and-so back at the office.
Yeah. Though when they do bring up the change order, I'll go, yeah, it's going to be $800. They'll go, oh, for that? And I'm like, hey, fuck you, man. Like, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Go screw yourself.
It is
you don't know what anything costs. Yeah. You know, like, it's a lot going on out there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think that makes it, I don't know, that blows my mind. I just don't understand that.
Because you're running a contracting business, right? There's guys that are contractors that have some sort of business with them. It's the second thing. It's not the first thing.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to get shit built. They're not worried about all this other stuff.
Yeah, but there's the discussion of who all does that impact, right? Like the
some
client.
Guys just don't care.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they do right now in the moment.
Yeah.
But then next it'll be Jerry was crying. He was difficult to deal with. I more or less have to become best friends with the guy in the field than almost you, because that guy has the ear to you. And he'll go right away and bitch and moan about Jerry being difficult on the job site.
Yeah.
All over an $800 nobody told me about the change order.
Yeah. I think that there's the fair piece that comes to it, right? Let's just go on the $800. Okay. There might be a like, oh my God, that's so much compared to whatever we did next. We get that. And we've pushed back, not necessarily to drywall, but the plumber is always a good example, in my opinion. The plumber's like, oh my God, there's how much, right? To move that angle stop because now it's in conflict with a baseboard or something, right? Like there's just like those little things that I think as a general, yes, that's hard to swallow because you are trying to sell it to the client, but it goes back to, are you doing it after the fact?
Yeah.
Because if the client really is changing that much, then you should be better about putting all those pieces together and having all that pricing ahead of time. And if you're just winging it, you're just wagging the number out there and you're like, oh, it's just $3,000 for that bedroom, whatever, right? And you're not actually putting the pen to paper, then that's your bad, right? And then you deserve all the heartbreak and all the bitching that you get afterwards because you're not doing the homework of what it actually costs and what is the impact, which then leads me down to this notion that you're probably not a very good project manager because you're probably not actually thinking about the schedule when it comes to that.
One thing after the other.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just
it all
a
follows
snowball.
Suit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a snowball because now you're discounting the price to the client. Now you're expecting the subs to discount it. And then you're probably not adding in your labor time, to do it. So now your schedule's not extended. And so it's a bad footwork in the beginning.
Major discount, which screws up the relationship.
Yes.
With everybody.
Everybody. Everybody inherits now this like cancer that just is like now spread across the project. Cause now we got this piece that we have to go do.
Yeah, in probably like a reverse order too. It's not generally in ABC. It's always like, oh, now we have to go back to reframe this or change that,
Yes, and the time to go do that. And so if you're not thinking, and this is where I challenge anybody who's listening to this, you have to think about the big picture of, well, it's just this one bathroom. It's just replacing these two windows. It's just, what does that do to the job overall? And I challenge my PMs that work for me because it's like, it gets dumbed down to that. Oh, we're just replacing two windows.
Yeah.
Okay, well, those two windows have an 8-week lead time. Okay, when's the siding going to be done? Is it going to be now we're going to have to resequence some people back? Are we going to have to cut in the drywall for those? Are we going to have to rock over them and then cut them back in? Like, there's a domino effect. And so I love when we get that of like, well, can you just add that in?
Yeah. Yeah, don't discount those because those are major.
Yes.
They eat up a lot of it. Eat up the 5 trades that you have to work with that could possibly work with you for the next 20 years.
Yes.
This client's only probably going to do one job with you ever, maybe two.
And so you really have to do your due diligence. Don't wag the number. Don't just, oh, well, that'll be, it's probably about $2,500. Like, I think we've all got into that got caught with that on site where we'll just wing something out and, I'll go back to, I'll send that out right now. Go back to the office. Put some thought into it. Actually price it out.
The same process you did. Because most likely it's all the same guys and the same
things. And then,
2 windows or 20. It's just windows.
And quantify it. Okay, now it's that lead time that's 4 weeks. Okay, well, now that's an extra month that I'm on the job. Okay, well, you factor in the extra rental on the porta potty? Because now that's going to be out there for another month, right? That's not the couple $100. Like, are you thinking about all those things that's going to go impact?
Yeah, like you said, that 2 months more, that project management fee or whatever you had, that adds up.
You got to think about that.
10 little change orders in there.
Yeah. So that discount that you might have given in the beginning, if you keep that up across the project, there's no way you're not going to make money.
Yeah, nickel and diming yourself to death.
All the way till you go back and look at it and you actually realize you paid to build the job.
Is that why it's so hard to buy a car? These guys are like, I'm not giving any discount.
Anything, nothing. We've discounted completely.
Yeah, wow. It's already been discounted.
Yes.
This is the discounted price.
Yeah. And I think it just makes you into this, it makes it into this notion of just being nervous now. And nervous about the pricing and nervous about delivering, and then you just carry that across the entire project.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you discount stuff, it starts to eat at you when the time starts going and it's all of a sudden cost more money.
Yeah.
And then now you cut corners.
Yeah.
It's hard to not do that. It's hard to, because that happens, right?
Well, yeah.
Money gets slim, you start trying to figure out ways to speed it up, get this thing done.
Yeah, and then it becomes a liability. And the client can tell, I think your team will be able to tell if you didn't sell it for what you need to, if you're actually looking at the margin. So what's that set your team up for to go build it, or yourself, right? If you're a one-man band, well, I got to finish early. What if you can't?
Yeah.
Are you going to bring the same amount of quality to the job, or are you just going to be cutting the corners because you're like, I got to get it done because I only had X amount?
Cut. Yeah.
Right? Which could then, let's say something catastrophic happens, and you've got to go back and
your negative money.
Water damage, or you can't warranty or whatnot. That just, it might end up, that 20% discount in the beginning might end up being a warranty thing that you have to go fix in a year. 2 years.
Warranties are for real.
Warranties suck. Warranties are the worst. Warranties are hard. That again, back to making margin and why you have to, so then you can cover your warranties and your tail that lags behind you as a contractor.
And warranties never come when you're just rolling in the work and everything's cash.
No.
When you're like, shit, this has been a slow month. Oh, by the way,
we have to go pay to repaint a whole house. Yeah, that's great. Didn't just do that. No big deal.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's
that
so
sucks.
fun. You had to repaint the whole house.
Couple of them.
Oh,
it's
shit.
Great. Warranty's great. Love it. It's so much fun. Yeah. I think that's true. So what should contractors do instead of discounting?
Yeah. What do you do?
I think it goes back to that discussion we talked about in the beginning of, rather than discounting the whole job, you have to take off scopes of work.
You have to stand strong on that.
Yes.
Sure, we can get this down to $350.
But you can only do X and Y.
Yeah.
You can't do these 9 other things too.
Well, John down the street, John GC said he could do it all for $350.
Well, it sounds like you need to use John GC. And you have to be
okay
but
I don't
with
have
that.
any work. I got to get some work. I got to sign these people. This is it. I'm feeding my family.
But that's the desperation, right? I could sit at home and go broke, or I could go do your job and pay for it. I'm still broke. Like, which do I want to do?
Oh,
you have to think about that. It's the same thing.
No emotion. Numbers.
No, you have to.
The bank doesn't lie.
The math is the math. The math is the math. Like, you can't, and you have to keep checking yourself for that. And Steve and I have to do it for each other all the time. Where it's like, I could go broke just sitting at home. I could go broke just sitting at home, going to all my kids' shit and never working again.
Yeah.
Or I could go broke chasing my tail on your job that now I'm paying to go build. Which one feels better? I'd at least go to see all my kids' plays and do whatever. I don't know. Like, you have to have both. You have to be able to sit in that.
Well, if John can do it down the street, then why can't we do it then?
Oh, that one kills me. That makes my head explode because John is probably not telling you the right number. I cannot tell you how.
John doesn't have the overhead you have. He doesnn't have all this stuff. But he's still going to do it for the same. He said
he could, but I would challenge you to that is John. You're going to get a different experience with John, and it's probably going to be more painful, and it's probably going to be longer than what what he's telling you. It's probably going to be longer, and you know what? That's a different experience. But if that gets you everything you want on your plate, I wish you good luck on your job.
Yeah,
and be okay with that.
Because the experience is huge. People don't take that into consideration. If you're doing a kitchen and a hall bath remodel, that could take, how long is that? 6 months?
Kitchen and a hall bath?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 10 weeks tops.
10 weeks tops?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pushing you to 12. 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
You're living.
The drywall guys got to get in there.
You're living like you got to eat out, like all these
That's
things.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how hard I had my kitchen cabinets painted once. I'm never doing that.
Oh,
when you don't have your kitchen,
yes,
it's a major inconvenience.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if people aren't there every day, you're gonna lose your shit.
I don't even so we've had 2 houses that we've redone, and we've not lived in them when we redid them. We redid our first house and we lived through it with a 9-month-old. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Second house we didn't live there, did it all very fast. Don't recommend. And we got it done. Looking back on it, it was like, oh, it was not the smartest. Our kitchen is literally falling apart at my house. My doors are coming off on my cabinets. I got tile countertops. Like, if you walk into my house, you're like, you own a remodeling contract, business. But it's because I refuse to live with it. To your point of no it's painful and I don't want to, right?
So the
I don't know
experience is real.
Yes,
and I've seen people freaking out when we get there at 7:30 in the morning. They're like getting their kids ready in their garage.
Yeah, and it's stressful. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, you will not want to see us. You'll be tired of us. You're gonna hate us. Right? For no reason. We could be perfect up to that point. But you just don't want people in your space. And you don't want to be drinking coffee and have the drywall guy roll in and there's dust. There's dust on everything. And it doesn't matter. You can do everything perfect. But that then comes down to, when is it going to be done?
Oh, yeah.
And that is where I always am like, I will tell you on day 1 when you're going to be done. And we are talking about when we are going to be done. Every single week.
Oh, yeah. It's
every single week.
For the good contractors, it's a constant schedule check. And if you don't think of the bigger picture, you just think they're being kind of assholes about it. But it's for real.
But I can tell you that knowing that is the one thing that's going to get you through to feeling okay. And okay, there's an end in sight. It's when you have no idea when the end is that's when you're just like, this is terrible.
Yeah, I see it, man. I would definitely pay more for a better experience and have kind of an end date.
Yes.
And all the services that I've paid for throughout my life at my house, when I do pick the better one, I do get that better experience.
But
and it happens quickly and things are done and they're done right.
But I know I can deliver on that back to how long in time. And that's why when I get the question of well, John down the street can say so-and-so, whatever, right? It's a small community. It's a small town. Most of the time I'm going to know who it is that we're going against, or I know so-and-so that's working with you, or one of my subs is going to end up being on that job. And you know what usually ends up happening? Or do I end up hearing, oh yeah, he ended up getting to the same price you were and ended up taking twice as long. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what they signed up for. And so I have to sit back and I have to be at peace with, I know what I need to make on a job. I know what I need to do, and I'm going to go deliver on it.
Yeah. I like that. That would give me a sense of confidence and having that end date. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, that's what I would want if I'm going to, I compare it. I always say that it's you don't go to the surgeon to get open heart surgery and then ask him well, how fast can you get it done? Yeah. And can you give me the updates along the way? And, while you're in there, I want you to explain to me what you're doing. It's you want the person who's the most confident, right? It's a big deal.
Yeah.
They're like, you're going to cut me open. Like, I want to know that you're the best. I want to know that you're going to do a good job. I want to make sure I'm not getting an infection afterwards. Like, yeah. And so it's interesting to me that there are very few people who think about it in the same way.
Well, that's what you guys kind of do up front, right? You kind of ask these questions and put that out there.
Yes. Because I want to know.
Get their brain to think a little differently.
And if the client's already thinking like that, that's an easy sell to me.
Yeah.
Because the clients that we get that come to us, they're already thinking that way. It is very rare that I will get a client that I will go meet and they aren't already thinking like that. That's very rare. And if they're not and they're okay, back to my my plaster versus tile client and everything else, why'd you call me? Yeah. Why'd you call me? Because I'm going to go deliver. And I was very clear when I talked to this potential client. It was very clear. I played like 20 questions and it was how long is this job going to take you? I was like, 10 months. They're like, what's your staffing situation? Boom. Near the end. It's like, you're going to have site superintendent. You're going to have a PM. This is what we're going to do. This is going to need full time management. There's somebody going to be here every day. It's too extensive of a job. Okay. And it's like, I knew all these answers and all these pieces. And then it came down to, oh, well, your margin's just too high or your cost plus fees too high. Okay. Then I'm not your contractor.
You'll be settling for less then.
And I'm okay with that.
Less service, more time.
And I think some people, it's like, well, you guys have been in business long enough and, you guys are able to do that. And you guys are with a lot of, to your point, getting over the head trash and being okay with that. You have to sit in that uncomfortable spot because sometimes that's not great. And we've been there. We've been there plenty of times where you're just like, okay, is the phone gonna ring? What happens if I don't have a job, And
if you didn't have the margins you needed, you couldn't keep the lights on during that time.
Yes.
It goes back into the business, not necessarily back into a big vacation or a big car and a truck and a Harley. It went back.
It went back to having the cash reserve so that I know that. So if I have to sit because something happened, I have the money to do that.
You'll hear on all the podcasts, you need to have the right margin and you need to have that war chest.
Yes.
And if you don't have those, you might as well go get a job.
Yeah. We just talked about that on Contractor Fight, right? Like you have to have the war chest behind you for when those situations happen so that you aren't married to that. But then I challenge the newer guys or the guys that are out there like, I don't have any work or I don't have this. Okay, what is your burn rate per month? How much does it cost you to keep everything on? What jobs do you need to go take so that you can keep the lights on for the next right away, 2 months, right? Okay, what job do you need to take in 3 months? And how are you going to get the job that you need in 3 months? That's maybe not the little jobs you really want.
Yeah.
Like you have to start thinking, you have to think about it in that way and reverse engineer what projects you're going to take. Because it just feels like the sky is falling. I'm just going to take whatever I have that's out there. And that's when you start discounting your costs and you start doing silly stuff. Yeah. Stuff that actually you're like, okay, well, I'm just busy. But you're not actually profitable.
It's
right?
So
Because
true.
You're chasing.
It's so true. When I slow down, so right now on my phone, the phone does not ring if your name is not programmed into my phone. It just goes straight to voicemail.
Oh.
And if you're serious, you'll leave a message.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll call you back. Because, the phone's ringing all day long. And it's wild. So when it's slow, I think I'm going to open that up so it rings so I can answer and take some of these homeowner deals, which I don't do, but several times a year, right?
Yeah.
And every time I do that and take some sort of, it's just the worst. It's the job I shouldn't have taken. What is the thing right here? I hated taking it, shouldn't have. Now I'm working on it and you call and have something I need to do and it gets in the way of somebody that actually is a good client.
Yeah.
So
and you ignored your gut.
I ignored my gut because I was nervous to pay the bills. I got to get stuff going. Got to keep the guys busy. Like all these things.
Yeah.
And it's the wrong decision. It feels like the right one at the time.
Yeah.
But it's every single time it's been the wrong one. And I'll spend days going and bidding shit I won't even get because they're on some other planet.
Yeah, that's not even close. They're like, we'll be ready in July, and then come to find out that's actually October by the time they get their shit together, and you're busy now in October.
Yeah, it's a whole process.
Yeah, every
sucks.
bad job starts with you ignoring your gut.
What is it?
You ignore your gut of this is probably not going to be a good job. And I challenge, it's hard when you're new. And we started it after ignoring and having a bad job, and it was terrible. And I had to live through it, and I had a terrible client. And it was like, we are not ignoring this. If we see these things, we're not going to do it. And you have to have somebody hold you accountable to that. I have a business partner, so it's easy, right? That's where I would challenge you, Jerry, of like, write it on the wall, the things that you're not going to do, you know, when it happens. It's like, I'm not going to take this because it equals this. I'm not going to do this because it equals this. And hold yourself to that, to those standards. And I challenge, I always say this when I hear people say like, oh, that was such a bad job. Why did I take that? Don't have amnesia about the bad jobs.
Yeah. No, I the last time it got slow, which was like January, February, March, through halfway through March, I didn't do it this time. I didn't turn on the phone. I just kept going, normal stuff. And when the gates opened and we had all the work, I wasn't stuck dealing with these assholes for nothing, you know, and burning up time for no money. Yeah. So, yeah, stick to your
you got to stick to your guns. It's hard. That's a very hard place to sit in. I think the overarching theme from this episode is that you have to be okay with the uncomfortable. You have to be okay with saying, no, I'm not discounting my costs. No, I'm not giving you a discount for cash. No, I'm not going to take this job that's not. There's a lot of saying no that I think people in our industry are afraid to do.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't like to say it.
No, we're in an industry of service. So it feels counterintuitive to say no. It feels like we're not doing. We should be glad you're calling me. We should be glad that you're giving me work.
Yeah.
Okay, but is it the right work? Am I going to make money on doing it?
That's what you mean by the right client in those things.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you could just work if you wanted to work.
For sure. My phone rings all day and I could take every jackwagon that calls me. Right? But is it the jobs that I want to go do? Is it for the clients I want to go work for? Is it in the part of towns that I want to go work in?
To provide for the employees that you've hired that you like, that are good people.
That have to deal with my decisions.
Yes.
They're the ones that have to deal with my decisions.
Yes. And taking all the calls, you'll lose those good ones because they're not going to live with the chaos, the head chaos that transfers into business chaos. They're not going to stick around for that.
No. They're going to be like, this is a shit show. I'm out.
Absolutely. Then your reputation.
It goes down.
So on and so forth.
Have to know what those are.
Yeah.
So it goes back to like knowing what projects you want to take, what jobs make you money, right? We just talked about this with contractor fight. It's like what jobs make you money. Know what those are. What are your best clients, right? We have a targeted marketing approach of like what are the best clients that work for us.
That's what I'm suited for. These are what works for me. These pants look good on me.
Correct. This is my body type, right? Like they make me look good, right? It's my right color, like and so it's a perfect example.
And you go through a lot of pants before you figure out which ones work for you.
Yeah. And so I would challenge people to take a hard look at that and know what those are.
And that's part of business.
It is.
And it sucks. And your stomach crunches and your brain gets all in it. And you got some asshole that could be your friend or your somebody in family that's telling you some other thing that doesn't even have a business.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's all these outside influences that suck. Yeah. Because if you cried to another business owner, they'd be like, yeah, been there. Yes. Hey, good luck.
Yeah.
You know? So it's hard out there, man.
Well, and a lot of people don't want to talk about that. And I think that goes back to people feel like that's only their problem. And I think that's why you and I know that was one of the key reasons why we started this podcast is because sometimes you get in your own head when it comes to that. And you think, I'm the only one that has these problems. No, it's not. Like we share a lot of light on this. I feel like people have this perception of what we do and how we build and what we put on social media. And we put a lot of the good highlights on there. And we've shared some of the failures that we've had as well. But I think this podcast has been a place for us to put that out there if we're not perfect. And we deal with all the same things that everybody else does, right?
And all that stuff, the podcast, the Instagram, that all cost a lot of money. We're not out here making money off all this. This is something that we kind of like enjoy to do. We're getting involved in the community, putting our stuff out there for the community. And
yeah,
it's just, they're like, oh, the people, well, you're doing it. You're going to, you're putting all this money into it. Are you getting any money out of it? Or what's your ROI on it? Not very good.
Yeah. Jerry and I can't quit our day jobs, you guys.
No.
I mean, that's not what we're saying here, but we're putting it out there because there's this platform that needs to be done in our market and in our community of what clients need to hear, what other business owners need to hear, other subtrades need to hear.
Yeah.
Right? That dynamic. I mean, that's really why we do this. And it's really 100%. Cool to see. It's been amazing to see people resonate with that and reshare it and share stories and share stories about you and I think we got a shout out of, I feel like I'm talking to my best friends, right? And lamenting about these things. It's just like, oh my God, like, thank you. Like, it's not just us. And so Liz, I know. Oh, my girl, Liz. She's great. I was like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's true, though, because you feel like you're in these silos.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And, you're the only ones it'll mess up your head.
Head trash.
Even more.
And so, and if you get more people that can sit back and can shine that light on it, look at the prism, that's what's going to give you the confidence to say no. You're going to say no to that. Can I get a discount for this?
For sure.
And be okay. I call it the hot girl at the bar. You have to be okay. You're the hot girl at the bar. Everybody wants you, right? And you're going to be like, no, you're not my type. I'm out, right? Like, and you have to be okay. And you sit in that. You're like, no, I'm not going to take on your job. You are going to be a terrible client. You're going to be hard to work with. You're going to, it's not a job that I really want or we're going to be good at. Right? Like we have that all the time. Too.
Yeah. It can be that. Yeah. It might not be your scope type of thing. So this isn't for me.
Yeah. Like we we got somebody can you build me an outdoor structure? Like, well, yeah, we can. Right? Like we can build that. That's not a big deal. But is it the job I want to go chase? Do I want to go take up 8 to 10 months worth or 8 to 10 weeks of my schedule allotment for that job when I could have another job that I'm better suited for that I enjoy?
That's why there's all the specialties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you got to be okay with that.
Well, that's it. It's over. Don't discount or you lose.
Jerry's going to send change orders to all the GCs he works with now.
So much paper.
Oh, my gosh. You're going to be back just finding all your freebies. Everyone get ready. You're about to get a dose of emails from Jerry of all the freebies he's given everybody. It's coming.
Oh, no. Maybe I'll try a couple.
Do it.
All right.
I'm excited. Janae, get ready. There's some coming over. So be good. Well, let's see who is more important today. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to win on this one.
Oh, boy.
I only got 1 call, 1 text. I am not that exciting today.
7 calls, 2 texts, 1 voicemail.
Ooh. Unknown number?
2 unknown numbers.
Uh-oh. There you go.
Yeah.
That's that homeowner calling for a discount.
Yeah, they're not going to get it. Call somebody else.
Well, if you have not already, please like, subscribe, reshare this episode. I think that there is a lot. We covered a lot in this, but I really think that there is a lot that you can share with your fellow business owners about why you don't discount, why you hold strong. Hold your price. Be firm.
And give us your feedback so we can talk about that. Send the messages and then we can talk about them on the next one. That's how we get the topics.
Yes.
If we need to break something down a little more, we'll break it down.
Yeah. We're all over Instagram, socials, all that kind of stuff. Send those over so that we can clarify. To your point, you led with some clarifying questions from our last episode. So I think it's been great.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.